Hey everyone, so it is day 27 of March of the Writers, and today's topic is making it personal. So, have you added anything personal into your writing and why, or how did it end up in there? So, I would say that probably every piece of my work is a little personal to some degree, whether it's an experience that I had or I base a character's personality on people that I know. Um, I try not to do the self insert things, but sometimes characters have the same interests as you or the same occupation, stuff like that. I think a lot of writers in some way put personal things in there. It doesn't have to be like deeply personal, but sometimes there's similarities and such. Um, I've written short stories where I've based characters off of family members, and might be their sense of humor or how they handle situations, stuff like that. Friends, family, acquaintances. Just different people, sometimes myself, as I said. Sometimes characters will go through similar experiences that I have, but maybe I'll change it up a little bit, right? So maybe they, much like me and much like many other people, have experienced some loss, of friends, of loved ones, but their situation might be different. They might have, lost somebody that I haven't, or something similar. I would say the most personal, that's closer to the like absolute truth, would probably be my poetry, right? And even that is still kind of symbolic in a lot of ways. Um, and again, there are certain things that can be like symbolic, but maybe for another reader, for me, the writer, could be symbolic in one way, but very much more truthful to a reader, right? So if I write about, like I said, death, for instance, somebody lost a friend, right? Um, this could be me writing about a friendship that had, just fallen apart or whatever, friendship, relationship, that kind of thing. It doesn't have to be exactly the actual person died, right? But like maybe that closeness, that companionship, that friendship, whatever, that is no more. Whereas somebody might read it and they may have actually lost a friend or a sister or whatever. So, um, I think you could put something personal into things, and it could be personal a different way to to the next person who consumes it. So, yeah, I think many things are personal. But getting back to what I was saying, poetry, most definitely. Um, there are people that have kind of misinterpreted some things that I've said, um, but I know what they mean to me, right? So, Ava Rain, that's a poem that most people I think is about like a baby or whatever, but it's more like an inner you symbolic kind of thing. Um, my darkest one might be Rubies from Ivory. Um, and I was in a very dark place at that time. Luckily, nothing extreme happened or whatever, but I was feeling very, very down. The paper and the pen, it's one of my favorite ones to write. This one is a little bit more light compared to the other ones, but I had a person think that it was about them, and it's not about them. They're just full of themselves, and I kind of hate it when people tell you what your stuff is supposed to mean, and they just they're condescending about you and your writing and everything, like they know it all. I'm gonna go on a rant about that. Um, but the paper and the pen really is just about me expressing myself through writing. It's not about a person. I mean, it can be if you want it to be, I guess. if that's how it resonates with you, it could be, how you feel about your relationship, um, your occupation, maybe you're an artist, a musician, or whatever. It could be all of the above. But for me, the paper and the pen literally is about writing. Um, there are ones that I just written about, like experiences, like water dancers, and or just things I see out in the world in nature, just thoughts. Sunflower is another one. A tear in her soul, that kind of thing. Yeah, I have a whole list of poetry that you can check out, and I also have one short story in my like writing playlist. It's called A Jar of Earth. So yeah, there's a lot of personal things in my writing. They just end up there. I don't really have a better thing to tell you. It's not like some big thing. I just look at the world around me and I just put that into writing. At least that's how I see it.